The job experience degenerosity.
Today, I'll be talking about one of humanity's biggest fears. A job! This is a horrifying path that almost everybody will have to eventually face in their life, whether we like it or not. And most of the time, we don't. But everyone has to get their bread somehow. So we just gotta suck it up and pray that we win the lottery or our parlay hits one day. Because let's be for real, nobody want a job. Like, unless you got real aspirations for a certain type of work, I think most of us, if given a magical opportunity to get paid however much you get paid now and not work that job again, we would take it. Because most of us see jobs as a way to get by in life and try to make ends meet. There's no room for you to pursue passions in this economy. You better second guess that art degree and major in business so you can be an executive marketing promoter for a billion-dollar company. But I digress. I'm just saying, I doubt that is most people's passions to work at a 9-to-5 at a warehouse lifting boxes. I don't mean any disrespect, but am I wrong? Plus, it's fun being unemployed. As long as you got a roof over your head and don't need to worry about bills, most likely because you still live with your parents, then why would you want a job? That sounds like it's taking away your time from being grandmaster on ride.
Freedom. That's why. Freedom. I want to go to the movies when I want to go. I want to buy Chinese food when I want to go. Like, the thing about growing up is like, nigga, my parents, my grandparents, they weren't giving you no money because they didn't have it. So if you wanted money, you had to go get it. What do you mean? I want the Chinese food, bro. These niggas in school say they going to a party this weekend. I'm not showing up broke. I'm not showing up broke.
And watching reels. Nah, that's too much. But eventually, you want to get your own stuff. You know, young boy tickets ain't free. Or
I'm saying,
really
concerts.
You in the face and now you actually have bills. So eventually, we all have to get a job. However, you know what's harder than actually deciding to get a job? Finding one that hires you. I swear, you could send 100 applications to 100 different places and all of them would still ghost you. You think with how many job openings you see, the businesses are desperate to find people. But nah, it feels like they're posting it as bait, just to mess with people or steal your info. Not only that, if this is your first job, you're gonna have a harder time because even the quote-unquote entry-level jobs are asking for a qualification of having prior experience. Like, isn't that what this job is for? How is someone supposed to get experience and not be homeless while almost every decent paying job requires that? And trying to apply for a job on LinkedIn or Indeed is like sending your application into a void.
That's what I'm saying. You're not getting that shit.
Be rating them. You could have the most stacked profile on LinkedIn. You got a bachelor's, master's.
Doesn't work. The easiest way is always to know somebody, bro. It's always to, like, you gotta reach out to pretty much all your friends and your friends' parents or your friends' parents and just keep doing that until you find one. That's the easiest way, bro. Like, I got jobs by applying. I did. Not the farm job, but grocery store for sure. I even worked at a Duck Donuts by applying, but it's like, nigga, I sent in that application 3 months ago. You're just hitting me back now? Indeed and LinkedIn is not getting you nada. Or they'll hit you when you already got a job. You got a job and now everybody want to hit you back. You know what I'm saying? You just got the job and now everyone's like, oh, I got a job opening. Oh, I got a job opening. Oh, I got a job opening. You can only have what you already have, for real.
Discovered the cure for cancer. Then you send in an application for your dream job to your dream company. Then they write back to you saying, we've read your application. Unfortunately, the CEO's daughter has took your position that you applied for, so get the f on. Back when I was still applying for jobs, I literally gave up on sending applications on those sites because I'd never get a response back. Like, damn, was my application that bad? Even when your application does get noticed and you get set up for an interview, you still gotta go through some more bullshit ass question. Why did you choose our business? Y'all hiring. Like, what's up? What is your main motivation to get your work done? Money? What else am I here for? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Hopefully not here. That's just me being honest with my answers. What do you want me to do? Work here for the rest of my life? This is a Wendy's. So you gotta lie.
Right, you gotta lie. I want to be promoted, you know? I hope to grow in this company. And maybe even become a manager one day and give back to the new people that join so that I can teach them how to keep this place going. You gotta glaze, bro. You have to. You like by the time you walk out of that employment room, y'all should be friends. If you don't know the name of that person's dog, kids, partner, mom, dad, grandma, where they went to school, where they want to be buried, like you didn't do your job. You wasted. It was a wasteful chance there. Wasteful. Come on, bro. They only gonna hire a nigga that they like. Who wouldn't? Think about if you're employing something. You're gonna hire somebody you don't like? No, you're not. No, you're not. You're just not. You're just not. So it's like, do the same thing, bro. Be his friend. Act like you want to get to know the nigga. Make it about him. Make it about him.
Any question they ask, you have to make for the rest of my life. This is a Wendy's. So you gotta lie with any question they ask. You have to make yourself look as good as possible. So you gotta fake it till you make it. Even if they asked you a stupid question like, would you still work this job even if there was no pay? You say absolutely. I always wanted to be a slave.
For free.
Congratulations. You have successfully become employed. The end of your life starts Tuesday. After starting a job, I feel after the first week, you can find out whether you like it or quit it the next month. And it won't be the job itself to motivate this decision. It's your boss and coworkers.
Jiggle my balls.
They can make or break this whole thing. If you happen to get a chill boss and coworkers you can vibe with, that's amazing. That's how my last real job was. I used to be a waiter for weddings and other events. That job low-key had me stressing because I wasn't good at the start. I was awkward taking orders. I would mess up
awkward,
orders.
bro.
And one time I even dropped a whole tray of food I was carrying.
Oh man, me too. I dropped a drink on a lady one time. Ah, it's the worst. Luckily, she was nice. She was like, "It's okay, it's okay." Oh, it was red. It was a red drink. She had a white dress. It was trash. It was so bad.
That job low-key had me stressing.
Well, you get good over
I
time.
wasn't good at the start. I was awkward taking orders. I would mess up orders. And one time I even dropped a whole tray of food I was carrying at the wedding. Best believe I didn't get tips that day. And what would get me kind of jealous is that some of my coworkers would walk out and carry 2 trays full of food on one shoulder. Like, damn,
This is how you
bro,
gotta
are
get
you
nice.
snowing? Those trays are mad heavy and so out of balance. But you know what kept me going? It was the fun time I had with my coworkers and boss. They were cool as hell. We had a carpool to get to the events. It was always a vibe and a good time. They made my experience. Imagine working a 16-hour shift and walking out of it happy. One day I clocked in for a double shift for a wedding and a Sweet 16 at 9:30 a.m. and clocking out at 1:30 a.m. Granted, I was dead after that shift and had to take off my shoes more than once, but I got $60 worth of tips and went to Wawa after work, so I felt like Gucci. And I believe
$60 worth of tips as a waiter job is not worth it. But do your thing. But do your thing. Do your
only
thing.
felt like this because the environment I was around was
Your
nice.
base pay's gotta be higher though, right?
I've had to serve some aggressive people at some point.
Yeah, it's my birthday today. What can I get out here for free? You a bitch.
If I had trash co-workers or a trash
Right?
boss, I
Ass
would.
tips. If you're gonna work in a restaurant, bro, bars. Or I mean, if you're gonna work in a restaurant, hotels. Like hotels, or like a fancier restaurant, or on like the water. Yeah, work in those places. Work in those types of restaurants. You walk out with like, on a low night, at least $100 in tips. On a high night, up to $700. Right, a place that has like a high rating. Come on, dude. Country clubs, I never experienced that, but I assume it's even more insane. Like, you trying to get money, dude? You at least want to average like 300 a night. At least. Like, no way. Theme park restaurants probably go crazy too, for real. Honestly, places where there's a lot of people and people who can spend the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to spend the money. At a wedding, it's already paid for. I guess they're not really tipping like that. You feel me?
Would have not stayed at that job for long. I have zero patience for bullshit. Literally. Like example, the first job I've ever had in my senior year of high school, I was a janitor at a warehouse. I had no coworkers, so I had nobody to talk to, and my boss was not a bad person, but a bad boss. I'd be working shifts that were 2 to 3 hours every few days, cleaning the break rooms, hallways, and bathrooms. So my pay wasn't even that good, but since I was still in school, I was just thinking, I'm making money and I got more time to study and goon. That sounds like a win-win. But when payday arrived, I would only be paid for half the hours I worked, sometimes less. I was already barely working as is, combined with a salary of $13 an hour, cleaning up pee-pee and poo-poo. Man, I'm not taking that. Plus, he only paid me through Cash App. You've ever had a job that only paid you through Cash App?
What the hell? Where were you working? Is that even legal?
I had to go. I only worked there for a few weeks. He did pay me the rest of the money after, so he cool, but man, warehouse jobs are not it. My patience dwindled faster when I got accepted at BJ's, and I worked there for 1 day. I asked to go to the bathroom and left during orientation. I discovered they weren't what they advertised. How you gonna call yourselves BJ's without expecting people to have certain expectations? That's false advertising. So I left. That wasn't really the reason. I just didn't want to work in the freezer. That's when I started my waiting job, then YouTube, and now here I am. Unemployed since. I'm just saying I can understand the struggles of looking for and having a job. Especially the ones you only take to make ends meet. And the unemployed life can be really fun when you have stuff to fall back on. If not, it will only be short-term satisfaction. Eventually, you have to get a career, deal with any of the shortcomings of it, and do that for the rest of your life. The American dream! So when looking for a job, make sure to get one that you like if you have the privilege to do so. That's all I really wanted to say. And in conclusion, enjoy unemployment while you still can. Different strokes for different folks. And so on and so on and Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Degenerocity, man.